What's up everybody, how's it going? It's Berk, aka Dansweight here, and welcome to another update video for the channel. There has been a lot going on, and even more will be happening in the future, and so I thought I would just run you guys through what to expect in the next few months, because I've been saying it to some friends that there's been an 8-week stretch, well there's going to be I guess an 8-week stretch, beginning from like the end of August through to the end of October, where the list of games coming out that I have a potential interest in playing either for myself or for the channel is probably one of the most dense release periods I think I've ever experienced personally. So just going through the list I have, at the end of August we had MGS Delta, which I wasn't able to cover unfortunately. I was away on holiday that we'd booked like months in advance, and by the time I was back and could get into it, there just wasn't enough time and there was already other things that I was interested in doing. So MGS Delta, I'm looking to play in my own time. I'm an absolutely huge MGS3 fan. It's my second favorite game of all time. I've heard the PC performance is good, but not great as well. And I'm looking to hopefully make some PC upgrades. And I want to just kind of experience that in its most glorious form. So I'm looking forward to MGS Delta, but it won't be on the channel, unfortunately. Then literally within 10 days of that, Silksong came out, which is what I'm playing right now off channel. That's my main kind of hobby, kind of fun game that I'm playing. It's brutally difficult and sometimes it's not very fun, but overall I'm still having a really good time with Silksong. It's a really good game, but I am working through that. I already have 50-60 hours into that. I've been spending a lot of time on it. So Silksong came out. Then we have the Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster coming out, which is the one I do want to talk about for the video as a more specific update. I've decided what I will do for Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster is to basically only do a single stream of the game. This is a rarity for me. This is something that I never really do. As you guys know, I don't stream new games. It's just not a thing. But this is a very unique situation where I literally finished playing through the War of the Lions version a couple of months ago or something, and we finished the series quite recently, so there's no way that I was just going to start all the way from the beginning again for essentially the same game and just do it from the beginning. I thought about challenge runs and stuff, but again, I thought I'd rather move on to other Final Fantasies. It's something I might do in the future, but what I wanted to do with it was basically I also want to see what has changed. I want to experience it, I want to hear some of the voice acting, I want to see how the game looks, I want to see a few of these quality of life improvements that they brought in. So there's definitely plenty of changes from the original that should potentially make it a little bit more fun and accessible for new players of the game, and to potentially make it the definitive edition of Final Fantasy Tactics. Now as of today, the 25th of September, it has an 87 Metascore, which is really strong. And people are saying if you already like Final Fantasy Tactics, you're still going to like this one. And it's a nice jumping in point for people who want to try it for the first time. I've really enjoyed Final Fantasy Tactics, fantastic game. And so that's what we'll be doing. I will be doing a live stream of it. Due to things like embargoes and rules surrounding it and this kind of thing, I'm not allowed to talk about any specific times and dates and that kind of thing. But just look out for it on the channel early next week around the release time. And I will be doing a stream where we'll take 2 or 3 hours just to begin the game, look through its menus and see how everything looks, get into some battles, progress the story a little bit, see some of the scenes, hear some of the voice acting, and just do a bit of a preview of the game together. And then beyond that, I won't be doing anything else for the Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that, but it should be a nice little showcase, and if anyone's seeing that and thinking, okay, this is what I want to play, then obviously you'll get what you need from that, and then you can make a decision about whether you want to purchase the game. And at least I would have been able to cover it in some way, because I didn't want to also play through the entire game again in such short time and then do some kind of review of it. It was a really bad fit in terms of timing, and so that's all I can really do for Final Fantasy Tactics, because I want to focus on other things. Now, also today, Silent Hill F came out, and I played Silent Hill 2 Remake for the first time in October 2024. That was the Halloween series last year, and I had an amazing time. It was one of my favorite games I played that year. I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the sound design, the visuals, the kind of, even the sort of abstract, convoluted story, the enemy design. It was just really, really cool. And so I had a great time with Silent Hill. I got to see why it was such an iconic franchise and why so many people had love for the game. And relatively shortly after that, they already brought out a trailer for the Silent Hill F game. And this is a Silent Hill that it's set in Japan. It has much more of a Japanese horror style. And since I was such a fan of Silent Hill 2 Remake, I figured it only makes sense to try Silent Hill F. It also got good reviews. I think it sits on an 86 on Metacritic. And the timing is such that, again, I can do it for Halloween this year. So for anyone wondering what is the Halloween game on the channel for 2025, the answer is going to be Silent Hill F. Now, in terms of timing, as I say, literally came out today on the 25th of September. I don't want to start the series now because, as is tradition now, I think it's been 4 or 5 years now that I've been doing it, we have a Halloween series, and it's not much of a Halloween series if I start in September. So the plan will still be to basically air the first episode pretty much on Halloween on the 31st of October, and then from there I will make that an ongoing series on the channel until completion. So do look forward to that. We have Silent Hill F coming up in the future. Next up, there is Ghost of Yotei, another game that because I love Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is one of my kind of favorite experiences on the PS4. Still to this day, I think for me it's the most beautiful game I've ever played. Love it. But it was a game I didn't get to feature on the channel. And so for Ghost of Yotei, I was thinking maybe I can kind of put that right. But again, the timing was just really bad for when it was releasing. It really created a bit of a crunch on the channel. And ultimately, I did a poll and stuff, and I think it was one of the worst performing in terms of people interested in watching it. And so I thought at the end of the day, I didn't do Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe that's just how it's meant to be. And Ghost of Yotei, I'm definitely going to play, but I will play it off channel as well and just enjoy it in my own time. So anyone who wanted to see Ghost of Yotei, unfortunately, I won't be able to upload it for you guys, but I hope you enjoy the game either way. And it's still not over because there's yet another game, well, 2 games coming out at the end of October, which I am also interested in, and that is, of course, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. Last year, I was introduced to Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, and I obviously later learned that they released 3 before 1 and 2, because in terms of the story, like chronologically, Dragon Quest 3's story is actually a prequel to Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So they brought out 3 first. It's also a bigger, more extensive game, and then they wanted to release 1 and 2 together as a bundle. Now, I really enjoyed Dragon Quest 3 as a big-time, obviously, Final Fantasy player. It was one where it was very familiar, but also very different at the same time, and I got to see a lot of what ended up making Dragon Quest a great and beloved franchise in the JRPG space. And so I thought to myself, Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I need to see those as well, because in the same way when I went back in time through Final Fantasy, I wanted to see where it all began, so I played them backwards. With this one as well, Dragon Quest 1 is obviously, in that sense, it really is the daddy. It's one of the JRPGs that really set everything into motion, and it predates things like Final Fantasy 1, and so it's an incredibly important game. And so I think any person, doesn't matter if you're a Final Fantasy fan or what kind of JRPGs you like, Dragon Quest 1 feels like something you need to play and experience just for the history and for its significance in the industry. And so I definitely love to try Dragon Quest 1. Apparently it's a very short game, kind of like how Final Fantasy 1 was as well. Obviously for its time, they didn't have these like crazy long games. And so I believe Dragon Quest 1 and 2 put together, they're about the same size as Dragon Quest 3 was overall. And so I'm hoping that those 2 games, I'll be able to cover them in a reasonable amount of time. And I definitely want to bring them to the channel, because I know that Dragon Quest 3 was probably, I would say, the best performing non-Final Fantasy playthrough I've done in recent years. So thank you guys for supporting Dragon Quest. The responses to that were great. And there were a lot of people who, like me, were mostly Final Fantasy players, who saw Dragon Quest and they thought, okay, this looks cool. I want to jump in and I want to give this a go. And there definitely was some Final Fantasy players who got to experience Dragon Quest for the first time and hopefully developed an interest in that series as well. Now, that's Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and I know some people are going to immediately be saying, but what about Dragon Quest 7 reimagined? Because in the last few weeks, that started to become a thing, and they've gone for a whole new art style for it, blah, blah, blah. I think that's going to be too much. I need to play other things. So I think I'm going to have Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 on the channel, and then I'm going to take a break from Dragon Quest. But in the future, there's definitely 1 or 2 Dragon Quest titles that I know throughout history that have a lot of love. So Dragon Quest in that sense is probably not going to be over on the channel, but it will definitely kind of take a back seat once again once Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are over. So 7 reimagined I won't be doing on the channel, but 1 and 2 I definitely do want to put on there and complete the Erdrick trilogy in HD 2D. So that's the plan. Now the final game, the one that I did poll on the channel that's not a new release, is going to be Dark Souls 1. And this is one where I've been talking about this and teasing this for a long time. And I genuinely, after Expedition 33, I was planning to do Dark Souls 1. I promise I was. And then, this whole, list of games I've been talking about just started to spring up. Because obviously I'd made this type of decision, I think somewhere around, April or something. And then by that time, like, all of these release dates started to come out, and I was like, holy shit, like, there's so many games that I want to play. And obviously when it comes to the channel, if there's two things I'm interested in, but one is a new release, I tend to go for the new release for channel reasons. Obviously that's sometimes where the channel kind of supersedes things. But at the end of the day, as you guys know, I only play what I'm interested in playing. I don't play things just for the sake of playing them, or just because I think they'll be popular. And so either way, like, the games that will be coming up, they're definitely things that I would have played anyway. But because they are newer and fresher, newer releases, they're going to get priority on the channel. But what I will say is that for Dark Souls 1, as soon as I can wrap up Silent Hill F/Dragon Quest 1 and 2, then basically that's going to be like priority number 1 as the next non-Final Fantasy title. So I'm going to do my best to make that happen. So that means there's going to be a bit more of a wait, and I apologize for people that have been waiting for that for a long time. But needs must, and I will definitely get to it, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, because Dark Souls has just been a massive gap in, obviously, Soulsborne. Now that I've done so many of them, like Bloodborne and Sekiro and Elden Ring, and I've got all of these great, amazing, some of the best gaming experiences I've ever had, but I still haven't played Dark Souls. And so I will get to it, I promise, but you guys need to wait just a little longer before that happens on the channel. As you can see, there's just so much going on. I've literally only been talking about new stuff that's coming up. In the meantime, I still have literally 3 things ongoing at the same time, even right now. And this is the channel kind of taking things a little bit easy, kind of going in like 3rd or 4th gear instead of 5th or 6th, you know? And so to speak about the ongoing stuff as well, just to wrap things up, Expedition 33 is still ongoing, and we are getting nearer to the end of the story for that one. And it's been a really great series. I think a lot of people have been enjoying that one too. I think the numbers, despite how long it's taking to upload, a lot of people seem to be tuning in. And it's pretty much just as popular as some of the Final Fantasy series I've been doing. Like, I think compared to Tactics, for example, it's very similar, which for a non-Final Fantasy game is always a strong sign. So thank you guys for supporting Expedition 33. It's truly an incredible game. It's something special. I had an amazing experience with it, and I'm really looking forward to having the series complete and you guys getting to see how I experienced that game for the first time. So if you're enjoying the series, I hope there's still going to be plenty more to come. I'm literally starting to upload where the area where I think the game really started to peak. For me, towards the end of Act 2 and the Act 2 finale, it was absolutely peak. Like, some of the best gaming sessions I've had in years. They were incredible. Hopefully you guys will continue to enjoy that, and once Expedition 33 is complete, then I will do World of Final Fantasy. I decided not to kind of overlap those two because I really want to keep my focus on Expedition 33 and make sure I get that complete. And there's already lots of stuff also coming up as well that I want to focus on as new releases. And because the channel's already just so busy right now, I don't want to end up getting myself into some kind of overload and getting stuck or getting burnt out because I've kind of given myself too much to do. And World of Final Fantasy, again, from what I know, it's not like a 15, 20 hour, 25 hour type of game. It's probably going to take a little bit of time as well. And so I want to make sure that I have like a good kind of runway in order to make progress with that. And it's not clashing with too many other ongoing things. So World of Final Fantasy, 100% on the cards. There's no chance it won't happen. But I need to complete Expedition 33 uploads before that starts on the channel. So bear with me on that one. But in terms of Final Fantasy, we still have the live streams that have started back up. So the no sphere grid, auto haste, like every enemy has auto haste thing. That's ongoing. That series has been crazy. If you haven't been checking that out, try to tune in for the lives. They're a lot of fun. And if you're not able to do that, definitely check out the VODs. It's been pretty unique, and it might get even more wild as things go on. So do not miss that one. I would definitely recommend checking that one out. It's been a lot of fun. And then alongside that, we do have the Masters mod. And the Masters mod is really coming to its conclusion relatively soon. But the bosses that remain are some of the most difficult and most brutal bosses I've ever faced in Final Fantasy X. And so in terms of, like, I think there's Dark Yojimbo, Dark Bahamut, Dark Anima, Dark Maga Sisters, and Penance. So there's 5 boss battles left. But on average, those boss battles were incredibly brutal, and so there's a lot of epic episodes to come. And so the Final Fantasy Fridays will continue on the channel. I really look forward to those. I really enjoy them. It's always a great vibe in the chat, and we have a good time. And it's also obviously great to have Courier himself in the chat. We banter with him, he gives us behind-the-scenes information, he teaches us things every week. And so it's been a really cool series, and it will continue for a while longer while I wrap up and try to defeat some of the most difficult boss fights that you can have in Final Fantasy X, even with any mod that you install. So definitely look forward to that as well. And so if all of that wasn't enough, there's one more thing to talk about that's coming to the channel, and that is going to be Final Fantasy X-2 Escape from Via Infinito Challenge. This is another poll that I did, and because there's two different types of challenges that I've been doing on the channel. One is the escape challenges, and one is the attack only. I kind of pitted them against each other because I was curious to see which one people wanted to see more. And it was pretty close, but Escape from Via Infinito won. And because I wanted to re-experience that dungeon specifically and give that a look, that's something that I've been working on for the last week or two. I've already done a bunch of recording for it, and it should be a pretty interesting challenge for you guys to watch. And so I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to upload that and when the schedule is going to be, but I'm focusing on just trying to get the recording done for now. But I will be sharing an Escape from Via Infinito challenge for Final Fantasy X-2 as well. So, to summarize, because there's been so much happening and so much that will happen, let me run it through one more time. Expedition 33 ongoing. Masters mod ongoing. Live streams. Final Fantasy X Auto Haste mod ongoing. So those three ongoing right now. Joining those will be World of Final Fantasy once Expedition 33 is complete. Silent Hill F will be starting at Halloween. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 Remake is also basically around Halloween. I think it comes out on the 30th. There's a bit of a clash there, but I will be working on Silent Hill F in advance. I'll start recording sessions and editing episodes in advance so that they're ready and prepped to go. So you might see like 3 or 4 uploads in one day and think like how, like normally he can't keep up with this kind of level. I'll be doing the work beforehand for like a short time so that I'm able to keep up with that. And so that's what will happen. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 will also happen. Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster will be happening in a few days in terms of just a single live stream to preview the game. Like 2-3 hours, just check out how things are. It's just going to be a one-off, and that's what we're going to do. And then we also have Final Fantasy X-2 Escape from Via Infinito still to come as well. And after almost all of that, we will have Dark Souls 1 starting on the channel as well. And I think that should pretty much cover like the next, I don't know, 4 to 6 months on the channel, because that's so much content that it's going to take me a long time to finish all of that. And in the meantime, I do have 1 or 2 ideas for tier lists and stuff. I will be throwing those in. For one of the kind of ranking videos, I want to do a collab with someone. It's very rare that I collab, but when I do, I try to do it right. And so I'm trying to prep for that. And once I do, I think it's a video that you guys will enjoy a lot. And so I will be working on that one too, but as you can see, for now at least, there's just so much going on in terms of releases and playthrough material that I'm going to have to kind of not focus as much on tier lists, because those actually took a lot longer than I thought. The ones that I've done so far, they've been quite intense to work on. They've been great, like they've done really well, but I want to try to, I want to just continue to try and do right by those and just try to make them worthy pieces of content instead of just throw away just quick opinion pieces just to try and reel in some views. And so I'm not going to upload them as frequently as I'd probably like, but if there's a stage when the playthrough content kind of slows down a little bit, then I can focus a bit more on those. But for now, the playthrough content is really going to be intense, and so the tier list stuff, I do have 1 or 2 ideas, but for now at least, we're going to be mostly doing playthrough content. And so hopefully there will be something for everyone, and you will enjoy what's to come on the channel over the next 3 to 6 months. So thank you all for watching. I will see you soon. Take care.